Hey guys, Fleck here. Today I'm doing a little bit of an odd video. Some of you might not really care too much about this. Pretty much, I've recently started to kind of up my game with cell phones. In the past, I've reviewed like cheap $100, phones, but over the last couple of years, I've been buying closer to flagship phones. I really like LG phones, mostly because they're pretty cheap and the features are pretty good. I love the LG V20. This is my LG V30, which I upgraded to after the LG V20. I did it just because the screen was bigger, had more features, had built-in wireless charging, which I really like to have. Recently, though, I've gotten tired of LG, like many fans of LG. Gotten tired of them just taking forever to update. They didn't release Pi update for over a year after it came out, and it was just really frustrating to wait for them to constantly waiting for them to update their phones. So I got the Note 9 that's over here, and Samsung Galaxy Note 9, obviously. And I've been loving it a lot. But something I really don't like about it though is how heavy it is. It's just really heavy, really bulky. So that just kind of, as much as I love the phone, one-handed use with it is just not very good. I recently went ahead and pre-ordered the Note 10, the standard size Note 10. So I kind of just wanted to do a size comparison of what that's gonna look like, moving from potentially, for anyone else who's doing what I'm doing, moving from a Note 9 to a Note 10, and what the realistic size differences are here, especially compared to my LG V30. Because here's the thing about my LG V30, pretty light, easy to hold in one hand. And I know this is going to be kind of silly, but this is what I use to kind of gauge, just how well I can use it and hold it with one hand. Is, can I do this? If I can cradle it on my pinky, and then to touch this bell up here in Facebook for my notifications, if I can do that with one hand, then that's pretty good. Unfortunately, with the Note 9, there's really just no way to really, I have to really stretch, and even then I can't really hit it without really stretching. It's just very uncomfortable. Also, the phone is very heavy. It just feels like you're kind of lugging around a brick. It's not even that much heavier. It's close to, I think, 200 grams, and this one is closer to 150 some. But the Note 10 is going to be almost the exact same. It has almost the exact same dimensions. It's even a little bit narrower. But it's almost the same weight, almost the same dimensions, except for it's all screen, right? You get the screen top to bottom. There's pretty much no bezels practically. So you actually end up with, let's do the comparison here. You really end up with, like I say, it's the exact same screen size. You end up with all the screen that you had on your Note 9. Really, almost the exact same amount. You end up with the same exact screen space, pretty much. Except for, rather than being, heavy and bulky, I'll be able to do what I do with this LG V30, easily hold it in one hand, very light, pocket it easily, and I'll be able to, hopefully, even though it's really, really tall, that's one thing, is it's very tall, so hopefully I won't have to stretch too far to reach that bell. I know it's kind of silly, you're concentrating on this one feature on this one app, just that Facebook bell, but when I'm sitting around and I'm using it one-handed, that's the main thing that gets me is, can I reach that bell? Yeah, very easily with the V30. So for a better size comparison here, I'm gonna go ahead and take the case off my V30. So this really is just a case, obviously, of the Note 10 that just came in today. I like my cases really thin. I've got the same exact skin, same exact case. It really is basically like a skin that just kind of is made of rubber. It's super thin. It's barely like you have a case at all, really. It's mostly just super basic protection just to make sure it doesn't really get scratched. might prevent it from, you know, totally cracking and shattering if it falls. But I don't really tend to drop phones. I just don't really do it. So fingers crossed. But I also have the Samsung protection plan now, since I bought the Note 10 outright and bought the protection plan. So I can drop the phone 3 times a year and pay $100 to have it replaced. So hey, whatever. So here's the V30, and here is the Note 10. It's as you can see, the case is really just a little bit thicker. Honestly, in person, it doesn't even look thicker. Really, it doesn't even look wider. It looks about as narrow as the V30 itself entirely. If you see here, actually, the Note 10 case fits inside, so it's going to be a very small phone. It's going to be very narrow, very narrow, very thin, easy to handle, easy to put your. And you know, I have short fingers too. That's another problem for me. Is like I have short fingers, so it's a big deal for me to be able to reach across with a small screen. So I love the Note 9. I'm gonna miss it. You know, I'm not sure if I'm gonna get rid of it really. I'm gonna give the Note 10 a good go. You can obviously replace the phones. You can return the phone, I mean. So if I just don't like it, I might just return it if I feel like it's not good. But you're basically looking at something that takes up that much less space than the Note 9, and still has the entire screen. It's basically just the whole screen size of the Note 9 is what the Note 10 is going to be, and much lighter and easier to handle. I just like a phone that I can throw around easily, pick it up easy. You know, it just feels light, even though it's only like 150 grams versus 200. You wouldn't think it's that much, but man, you can tell this feels like a brick, and this just feels like more like a paper, really. Which I mean, I like, you know. So that's it. That's why I got the Note 9, the Note 10. And none of the drawbacks bother me. The 1080 display, missing headphone jack, none of that stuff bothers me at all. I don't use any of that. I don't care about it. The 1080 looks fine to me. At 6.3 inches, it's not a big deal. I mean, we all look at 1080 displays. Most of us do anyways on 21, 22, 23 inches. So, yeah, that's all. I just wanted to kind of get that first look at what we can expect to see from the Note 10, what the realistic size of it is going to be when you just kind of compare it to these couple different phones. All right, guys.